Alright guys, welcome to the third tutorial of our Flutter news app with MVVM, and so far we have made the view model and now we have also made the web service. So now it's just about displaying that data on the screen. So what we will do is we will just go to our screens folder, and here what we are going to do is we need a new file that we can create, new screen. We can call it main screen, and let's import material.dart package, and we will create a stateful widget. We can name it news screen, and we can create another screen and call it as detail. Oh, sorry, this has to come in the screen folder, so we can call it as detail screen, and this is going to be a stateless widget. Stateless detail screen. So what we are doing here is we have created a new screen, and first of all we will go to this main.dart file and we will make some changes here that we should, because we are moving forward with our tutorial, so we should be seeing some output also. So here we will just get rid of this class that was initially generated by Android Studio, and we will go by multi-provider, and we can name this as we can import it first. So change in child, change notifier provider, and we can say create, because this is going to display the whatever information that is being fetched and saved into the view model. It is going to display that. So that's it. And one mistake, we have to come in here, providers, and let's just bring this whole thing in here. Some issue, and the child is going to be news screen that we have just the stateful widget that we have just made. Okay, so let's just leave this here for now, and we can go back to our news, the main screen widget that we have created. And what we need is we need to create an initialize state method. Yeah, and here what we will do is take a provider of passing our list view model and context, listening to it is false, so we have to import it first. So let's just import our list view model also. And now what we will see is we will see the method fetch top headline. So whenever we are on our main screen, whenever user launches that activity, we need this method to run, which is present in, if we go to list view model, is this method. Okay, and this is coming from the web service all the way here. Okay, going back to our main screen, we will come in our builder method ListViewModel and take provider dot off. Again get ListViewModel and context. Okay, that's perfect. Now here what we will be doing is we will be doing so many things in here. So let's just maybe run this app so we can see the preview at the same time. So meanwhile it's running, let's just keep on working and we will return a scaffold here. And in the app bar what we need is we need it to show the action, the buttons that help us to choose the country. So what we'll be doing is that in app bar we need it to have the actions. So what we will do is actions widget double square, and we have opened it up. So what first of all we'll do is we need pop up menu button. On selected, pass in the country and list view model. The map, this is from here, dot fetch news by country. So we have to pass our country's map in here, the map that we have created that contains the list of the countries that we have, and we can come out of it and give it an style that is going to be vertical. An item builder that is going to help us build this whole action bar that we are trying to create. I'm calling it action bar, although it's inside the app bar, so that is why I'm just calling it an action bar. Value v child is text widget to list. So let's just see where our app is in terms of when I run it, because I had launched it. So this is white right now because we didn't put any widget. So let's just constants. We are importing our class, and that had the map that we had created. If I show you going back in here, countries, and it is in constants. So keys dot map. Okay, perfect. So what I'll do, I'll just perform a hot reload, and yeah, if we see here, this is appearing here. Okay, so we will be working with what happens when we click. Actually we have already written the method, but obviously this will not perform anything right now because we haven't attached any widgets, so we could see the change triggered by the action. Anyways, let's just name this. Also we can name our app in here. We can go in here and title news app. Yeah, it's here. Okay, perfect. So now what we will be doing is we will be working on the body of the app. So we have to come out of our uh, and also we can just give the elevation 0, 0.0, so it takes away the shadow. So what we will be doing is now we have to work on the body where we are displaying the news. Body, if I'm not wrong, then yeah, it is here. Body, safe area. Let's take a child, a column, because we want the information to be displayed vertically, and the column alignment, it has to start from the left. So start is by default, left is by default in start. And now whenever we are working with column, it has a property children that takes in multiple widgets at the same time, one over the other. So what we'll do here is we can just add the padding, and this comma means that the widgetary will continue. So you need this comma, otherwise the widgetary will not continue and it will stop, or you will see an error, or you would not be able to add another widget. So we can add a padding constant edge insets only left 30 and bottom 15 and right and top 15 too. So what we'll do here is we can take one child and we can just name it as headlines, and we can style it a little bit also by working with text style widget. Font size is 30, font weight could be bold. Okay, so now if I save this and hot reload it, we are seeing this. Okay, I can bring this in the middle if you want, and like maybe I can make it a little smaller. So this is looking really bulky. Maybe let's just make it 25. The thing is that I am more about just making sure the app is running and understanding the methods, and we can get into the designs and all that later, like the UI and all that stuff that can be done later. So what we can do is like we can bring our app bar text into the center. So yeah, this is good, and we can just make sure that it's a little bit smaller, or you don't have to do this at all, but just while we are at it, we can just do it. Okay, now let's take another widget, expanded. Here what we will do is child news grid. We will create a new widget that has, in which we are passing the whole view model. So this has not been generated yet, so that is why you are seeing this error, but this is what we have to do with our main screen. Let me see what time is it. So maybe I can pause this tutorial, or oh, I think we can go on for another 14 minutes or 5 minutes more. Okay, let's create, this is the folder that we have created for widgets, and we will create another widget. This is going to be a stateless widget because this is a template for how our news should look. We can do it even in here, but just to make it more refined and clean and easier to change and read, we can do this. news grid, and import material class, sorry, stateless news screen. So now this is, we are taking a list and pass our view model in it and name this article, and news screen is dependent on this articles, so we can just import it. So now if you go back in here in your main screen, and if we import this, uh, let's just write it, if my name, okay, I named it wrong, let's just name it news grid, and we can change this. So now this error should go away after I import this widget. So now what we have done here is we have passed whole view model articles into this template, because here we will be controlling how it is being displayed. So let's just jump down to our build method, and we are going to be returning the news into the, like, we want it to become a grid. So just how I showed you earlier in the tutorial, right? So that is why we are using grid view builder. Otherwise you can use list view builder and all that, it's up to you, but for the design of this app we are using this. So let's just work with the properties of this. Silver, grid delegate, cross access account, we need only 2 columns, and item builder is going to have a method index. So what we are going to do is we are going to take a variable article, and articles from our view model, and whatever the position is, because index decides the position in the list that we have passed, and also where we will pass return gesture detector whenever a grid item has been clicked, then what should happen. So we will use the default method that is on tap, and we will come in here and we will create a method called show detail, show news detail page, and we can pass build context, and we can pass list view model VM. Here it's going to be only view model, and navigator dot push. So first is going to be context obviously, and material page route, and we can pass builder mm, and return the widget that we have created here, the stateless widget detail screen, because whenever we click on the grid item then it should take us there. I forgot the name, detail screen, I think, detail screen, passing in article in here. Okay, VM. So don't worry about this because we are still yet to make the detail screen dependent on the view model, so we will do that later. Okay. Okay, so let's just leave this here and call this method in here. Okay, here the context, and what we need to pass is these articles are coming from the view model itself, so that is why we are passing that. These articles are coming from view model itself because this articles is the view model itself. Okay, so now what we will do is we will be working on how do we display the images. So after this is done, let's go outside of gesture detector. I think no, gesture detector is going to be in here, child, and let's return grid tile. There are several widgets that you can use. You can use card, you can use grids, you can use lists. So we are using grid tile here, and that has a child of its own, which is a container that we will be container. We can directly pass a child here, but container is like, it is like a box. So later if we have to make some changes, it will help us to do that. And I think that's it for this tutorial, and we will be working on this in the next one. So I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.